Most people grab whatever air filter is cheapest and hanging at eye level, then wonder why their engine drinks dust for 100,000 miles. The filter is the cheapest part of your car, and it protects the most expensive one. Today, I'll walk you through the engine air filter brands you can still trust with your eyes shut. Let's get into it. Wix. Start with the one the pros quietly reach for. Wix isn't the loudest name on the shelf, and that's exactly why I trust it. It's the filter a lot of shops fit when nobody's watching and nobody's upselling. Here's what earns it the top spot. Wix filtration testing consistently lands right up with the best, matching factory efficiency, and the build quality shows when you hold one. The pleats are even, the media is deep, and the end caps and gasket truly seal, instead of leaving a gap for dirty air to sneak past. I've pulled Wix filters at their change interval and found the airbox behind them spotless, which is the whole point. And here's a fact most people don't know. Wix quietly makes the filters for other trusted names, including a lot of what sits behind the Napa counter, so you're often buying Wix engineering even when the box says something else. It costs a touch more than the bargain bin, but not by much, and you're paying for a seal that holds and media that filters. I had a customer once who kept buying the cheapest filter he could find and couldn't work out why his throttle body was always dusty inside. 1 Wix later, clean as new at the next service. That's the difference a real seal makes, but the name your grandfather trusted still earns its keep, so let's talk about it. Purolator. Purolator has been around longer than almost anyone, and it basically invented the modern oil filter. That heritage isn't just a story. It shows up in how consistently these filters test. The reason I keep recommending Purolator is simple. Independent filtration testing regularly puts its better lines at 99% efficiency, matching what came from the factory, at a real discount to the dealer bottle. The media is dense, the fit is honest, and it doesn't cut corners on the frame the way the cheapest filters do. I've run these on daily drivers that see dusty back roads, and pulled them out still holding their shape, still sealing clean. And here's an insider note. Some famous factory filters are just rebadged Purolator, so once again you can pay dealer money for the logo or pay less for the same filter under its own name. If you want factory-level protection without the factory markup, this is a safe, boring, correct choice. And boring is exactly what you want in the part that guards your engine. Nobody ever regretted a boring air filter. The one German automakers themselves call comes next. Mann-Filter. If you drive a European car, this is the name to know. Mann-Filter isn't chasing you in the parts aisle because it's busy being the original equipment supplier for a lot of the big German brands. That's the whole pitch, and it's a strong one. When a German automaker builds the car, Mann is often the filter that goes in it at the factory. So buying Mann on the aftermarket means buying the exact filter your engine was engineered around. The media quality and the sealing are what you'd expect from an OEM supplier. Tight, precise, no guesswork. I fitted these to BMWs and Audis whose owners were about to overpay at the dealer, and it's the same filter for less. On a European engine that's fussy about airflow, that precision genuinely matters, and a loose or underbuilt filter is exactly the kind of thing that throws a fault code on a car like that. Pay dealer price for the badge, or buy Mann and get the identical part. Easy call. Which brings us to 2 names that come straight off the factory floor of the biggest car makers on earth. Denso. Denso is one of those names that runs the industry from behind the curtain. It's one of the largest original equipment suppliers in the world, and a huge share of Japanese cars roll off the line wearing Denso parts. So when you fit a Denso air filter, you're usually fitting the same quality that came in the car from the factory. The filtration tests right up with the top tier. The fit is exact because Denso often designed the original, and the build is clean and consistent bottle to bottle. I've trusted Denso on high-mileage Toyotas and Hondas that just refuse to die, and the filters are a big quiet reason those engines stay clean inside. If you own a Japanese car, this is about as safe as a choice gets. The nice part is you're not paying a premium for that safety. You're paying less than the dealer for what is frequently the very same filter. It's proven, it's everywhere, and it's priced fairly. This next one might surprise you, because most people know it for spark plugs. Bosch is a giant, and yes, Most folks think of spark plugs and wipers first, but its workshop air filter line is a genuinely strong, overlooked pick that deserves a spot on any trust list. Here's why it earns it. Bosch brings the same engineering discipline to filters that it brings to everything else. Dense, multi-layer media, a frame that holds its shape, and a seal that actually seals. The filtration lands right where you want it, up with the OEM grade names, and the fit is dialed in, because Bosch supplies parts to automakers all over the world. I've used these as a reliable middle ground filter on all sorts of cars, and they never once gave me a reason to worry. It's the kind of brand you can grab off the shelf without doing homework and know you did fine. And that matters more than it sounds, because most people are standing in the aisle with a screaming kid and 30 seconds to decide. Bosch is the one you can grab blind. Broadly available, fairly priced, quietly excellent. And if you appreciate straight car advice like this, hit subscribe so you don't miss the real stuff nobody else tells you. And now, the filter your factory already trusts. Sometimes the buy it for life answer is the one the engineers already chose. Motorcraft on a Ford, AC Delco on a GM, the genuine filter for whatever you drive is never the wrong call. The reason is obvious once you say it out loud. The factory filter was designed for your exact airbox, your exact airflow, your exact engine. Nothing fits better, nothing seals better, and there's zero guesswork about whether it's right. Here's the insider part though. A lot of these OEM filters are made by the same companies already on this list: Purolator, Wix, Denso, just in a different box. So the genuine filter is often superb, and it's also often the exact same part you can buy cheaper under the maker's own name. Either way, you cannot go wrong protecting the engine with the filter it was born with. I keep genuine filters on the cars I actually care about, the ones I want to keep for 200,000 miles, precisely because there's no argument to have with myself at the airbox. Buy it when you want zero doubt, or buy the maker's branded version when you want to save. Both are the same filter, but one name on this list started a whole argument, and it's up next: K&N. Now the controversial one, and I'm going to give it to you straight, because this is the true buy-it-for-life filter, and it comes with a real catch. K&N sells a washable, reusable cotton filter backed by a lifetime warranty. Buy it once, clean it, re-oil it, and in theory, it outlives the car. That's the appeal, and it's genuine. One filter for the life of the vehicle, more airflow than paper, and a little intake growl enthusiasts love. But here's the honest catch, and no K&N fan should pretend otherwise. An oiled cotton filter generally lets a bit more fine dust through than a good paper filter, and if you over-oil it, that oil can foul the mass airflow sensor and throw a check engine light. The lifetime savings are real. The filtration trade-off is real too. It shines for the enthusiasts and off-roaders who service it properly, and it's the wrong pick for someone who wants maximum filtration and never wants to think about it. So buy K&N with your eyes open. Clean it right, oil it lightly, and it lasts the life of the car. Over-oil it or ignore it, and it bites back through a fouled sensor and a light on the dash. It's the only true buy-it-for-life filter here, but life for life comes with a maintenance contract. Then come two workhorse names the trade has leaned on for decades: Hastings and Fram. Let me group two honest workhorses, because they answer two different questions. Hastings is the filtration purist's pick, and Fram is the everywhere available value pick, and both have earned their place for different reasons. Hastings is a quieter American name that filter nerds respect, because the company lives and breathes filtration, and the media quality reflects it. It's the pick when you want top-tier protection without paying for a famous logo. Fram, meanwhile, is the brand you can find in literally any store in the country, and while it takes heat online, its better lines like the Extra Guard do the job for most drivers on most cars, and the fit and seal are fine. I've run Fram for years on cars I wasn't precious about and never had a filter fail me. The trick with Fram is to buy up into its better line, not the rock-bottom bottle, because the cheapest Fram is where the online reputation comes from, and it's not where you want to be shopping. Hastings when you want the purist's filter, Fram when you want it now and cheap. Both beat the no-name hanging beside them every time, because the no-name is where the corners actually get cut. And that brings me to the truth I promised you. The truth most parts counters won't tell you aim. Here it is, plain. For most cars, the brand on the box matters far less than three things almost nobody checks, and any filter on this list gets all three right. 1. The seal. A filter only protects the engine if every bit of air is forced through the media, so any filter that doesn't seal to the airbox lets dirty air walk right around it, and the best media in the world can't save a bad gasket. I've seen an expensive filter seated crooked in a sloppy airbox doing less than a cheap one that sat flat. 2. The media itself, dense enough to trap fine dust, but open enough to breathe, which is exactly where the cheap no-names cut the corner. And 3. Changing it on time. The most expensive filter left in for 80,000 miles protects you worse than a cheap one swapped on schedule. A filter is a consumable, not a monument. So the real buy-it-for-life move isn't hunting for one magic brand. It's buying any one of these trusted names, making sure it seats and seals, and actually changing it when the manual says, do that, and the cheapest insurance in the whole store keeps your most expensive part breathing clean for as long as you own the car. If that helped, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.